Sup everyone, welcome to the first roundup of Season 3 of the Elite Battle League, aka the EBL. I am your new main host, ItsReallyTimmyB. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I am joined this season by Season 1 co-host Infernomen, aka Landon, aka Infernomen, coach of the Iowa Incineroar. Landon, buddy, how are you doing today?
Doing good, glad to be back with roundups, and although it's not with Josh, at least I get to have Timmy. And no, I would like the main host spot, but I'm alright with having co-host if that means I get to edit the video.
Look, here's the thing. You are already too busy coaching up the Iowa Incineroar. I am not a coach in the league, so that's why I have the main host responsibilities. But I'm glad to have you back here on the roundups. Even though we never did a roundup together, still glad you are here. Okay, fam. We got week 1. We got a bunch of matches. We got some great matchups. We got a couple of newcomers as well. A couple of things before we do get started. Number 1, go watch the trailer if you want to know every team's Pokemon. That is on Infernomen's channel. Number 2, you gotta hit the thumbs up button on this video, fam. And number 3, you need to subscribe to all of the members of the Elite Battle League. All of their links, all of their names will be in the description. All of the matches will be uploaded on Saturday on their respective channels, so make sure you guys go subscribe to them. Landon, do you have any, first words of, Season 3 and all that stuff? As the coach of the Iowa Incineroar, what are you looking for this season?
First, before we get into that, I just want to mention that the trailer should be uploaded on as many of the coaches' channels as possible, which it's also on this very channel, so you can watch it on here too. It's fine. Second of all, about what you addressed me, asked me, Season 3, it's going to be hype. I can tell. It's going to be quite the season. The Iowa Incineroar, definitely hoping to do better than the second season. The second season was like me getting into VGC and, trying it firsthand, but we're definitely going to battle a lot better this season. You guys are going to see us putting in the work. So good luck to all of my other comrades and coaches out there, and I hope you guys enjoy the third season of this amazing league.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, and I said that last year in the roundup, is that we saw a guy, Kentucky Kinglers, our guy Derek, aka Always More Videos. He had a good first season, came in Season 2, made it to the finals. I can see yourself being on that path. You had a great first season as a coach, and hopefully that can only improve in this third season. But we're already a couple of minutes into this. Let's just hop into the first match on the schedule. Landon, are you ready?
I'm ready, Captain.
All right, the first matchup we got on the schedule, as written in our little Discord, we got the San Diego Sylveons against the Indiana Igglybuffs. The San Diego Sylveons and Indiana Igglybuffs are technically two new teams. The Sylveons filled in last year for the Redwood Meowths when they had some technical difficulties, but they're kind of new in a sense where they drafted their own team. And the Indiana Igglybuffs, I cannot speak. Oh man, I'm already starting off hot with the host. But we have a couple of newcomers here. We kind of saw the Sylveons last year, but now with their own team. Just to kind of go over here, I should have written all this down, but I'm a stupid poopy butt. Okay, Indiana Igglybuffs, we got Urshifu, Ferrothorn, Nangadale, Rotomwash, Scizor, Hawlucha, Grimmsnarl, Flygon, and Primarina. And the Sylveons have, of course, Sylveon, Kyogre, Goodra, Corviknight, Chandelure, Zoroark, Steelix, Leafeon, and Galarian Rapidash. So this is going to be really interesting. And it's always so tough in Week 1, Landon. Like, we know how some people battle, but when you have a couple of people that maybe you don't know how to battle, you don't know how this is going to go. But what are your thoughts on this matchup?
My thoughts on this matchup is that, well, first of all, the first thing I look at when I see Bob's team in any situation, first of all, I see that Primarina, who has been an all-star on the Kentucky Kinglers team for the past 2 seasons. Bob was the one who was helping Derek out, so, I mean, whenever I see Bob, I just think, oh, that's the guy that helped Derek get good with VGC. Let's see how he does. He's one of 2 people with a Dragon Poison type this season, the other being Guanako, of course. That Naganadel is pretty scary. Hawlucha I had last season. I didn't get to put in the most work for him. Scizor was, I had it that last season too. That one was kind of a powerhouse. Didn't get to use it as often as I like. But when I see his team, I see plenty of power also with the Urshifu in there. And Rotomwash, of course, has been a famous mon in the past in the league. But when it comes to Tara's team, I see a few fairy types. I see a Kyogre, which is a very good legendary. I just see a pretty good matchup. I'm really interested in seeing how this battle goes because they both have some good mons that can definitely put in the work if used correctly. So it's definitely going to be a good match.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good match as well, and I think the Igglybuffs have more of an attacking team. I mean, they got some heavy hitters on there, but they also have some good setups with Ferrothorn. Rotom Wash could always be a little bit annoying. Primarina can be annoying as well. They also got some speedy boys with Scizor and Hawlucha can really pack a couple of punches. And the Sylveons, they have a pretty well-balanced team. They're really bulky too. They can take some hits. We all know Steelix is pretty good defensively. Corviknight, Kyogre, Goodra as well. And they have some great special attackers as well. So this is going to be a tough one. I'm very interested to see this. This is not, a drought team versus a rain team or a snowy team or anything like that. This is just a handful of great Pokemon on both sides. So we got to have a prediction here, buddy. What is your prediction? You going with Indiana and the Igglybuffs, or are you going with the San Diego Sylveons?
So I thought about this for a bit, and while she does have some good fairy types, again, I mean, if Bob does bring the Grimmsnarl, the Flygon, and the Urshifu, the fairy types will be useful for that, but I feel like Naganadel would be like a strong powerhouse to take those out. If I think about this carefully, especially with the possibility of him bringing Ferrothorn to set up spikes and stuff like that, I'm going to have to give this one to Bob just because he's got that powerhouse of a team. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tara ends up winning either. She's got a really good team, especially for the fact that she got sniped a lot during the draft.
Yeah.
So if Tara wins, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to give this one to Bob.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bob as well. I mean, we've seen kind of Bob's style through Derek, the guy who Bob has helped coach in VGC. So I think he comes in with a good strategy. You mentioned that Poison Dragon, the other one, Guanako, two-time defending champion. So this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to go with the Indiana Igglybuffs. I cannot speak today, fam. I do apologize, but I'm going with them. I'm going with newcomer Bob to get his first victory in the EBL. Second matchup we got on the schedule, we got another newcomer. We got the Akron Axios and our friend Isomorphic going up against, as I just said, two-time defending champion Miami Dragonites, coached by our friend Guanako Gaming. Make sure you go check him out. This is going to be a tough one for ISO. Tough first round matchup. Just to go over their teams real quick. Miami Dragonites by Guanako, they got Eternatus, they got Zarude, they got Galarian, Darmanitan, Beartic, Whimsicott returns to the team, Excadrill, Lycanroc, Blastoise, and Charizard. And the Akron Axios got the other Urshifu, Gastrodon, Hippowdon, Encephalon, Clefable, Umbreon, Crobat, Galvantula, and Haxorus. Both two great teams right here. They have it all. They got bulk, they got some power, they got some cheesy setup mons, they got some status mons to really, give you punches and stuff like that. But Landon, it's hard for me to look at this Miami Dragonites team and not, say that they're going to repeat as champions. I know you're a coach, but I mean, they're clearly the favorites right now. It's going to be a huge party over there in Miami like it always is. So I got to go with the Miami Dragonites in this one. I just, looking at the teams, both they're great mons. I think ISO's going to put up a good battle. Could even pull off the upset as well, but I mean, it's coming down to Guanako. It's week one. Let's not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going with the Miami Dragonites in this one.
For me personally, looking at both of these teams, again, the Eternatus really, sets me off, being Dragon Poison, stuff like that. That type combo is dangerous. The only weakness is Dragon, I'm pretty sure, because Dragon resists Psychic. Does it resist Ground?
No, Ground is super effective against Poison and Dragon types.
Okay, so it's got two weaknesses. Anyways, so it's a pretty good type combo, I gotta say. And looking again at ISO's team, I'm not just saying that he's just gonna sweep ISO with just his Eternatus, but I don't know how much. Other than the Urshifu, whenever I see Urshifu on the team, we got two Urshifus in the league. They both can put in a lot of work. I'm giving this one to Guanako, but I can definitely see the Urshifu putting in a lot of work to making it look like ISO could possibly win, but
Right.
I feel like this is going to be like a super close match with Guanako coming out on top. But I guess we'll see, because you know, I look at certain mods like Umbreon and Galvantula and stuff like that. Like if he brought those, like Blacephalon, if he brings Blacephalon, you guys saw me with Blacephalon last year on Bruce's team. I hate that. I don't hate it, but I'm afraid of it. Plus, it took over 200 Dynamax adventures for me to get it shiny, so it's kind of on the hot seat for me right now. But if he does bring Blacephalon, those three right there, Crobat, Umbreon, and Galvantula, I'd be interested to see what ISO uses. But again, I'm going to have to give this to Guanako, just because he's got some bulk on the team, and he's a two-time champion, so...
Yeah, and he's got bulk, he's two-time champion, and I'm looking at the Akron Axiu's team, and I'm like, alright, cool, Gastron, that's hype. Hippowdon, oh, that's hype. But then you look at Dragonites, oh, he's got Zarude, and Whimsicott, and then it's like, oh, okay, but he has like a Crobat and a Haxorus, and it's like, oh, okay, well, Guanako also has Galarian, Domanitan, Beartic, Blastoise, and stuff like that. So these are going to be two even matchups, but we're both going with Miami Dragonite. So, hey, you know what? Maybe this game will go opposite on the next one we have on the schedule, fam. We got ourselves the Detroit Luxrays against the Redwood Meows. Our friend Detroit Luxrays, coached by Game Reviews and the Redwood Meows, making their return back in here. Who is the coach? Oh, I'm so dumb. Landon, correct me.
What?
Who's the coach? Yeah.
Our friend Forsaken Ace.
Forsaken Ace. The Discord name is not Forsaken Ace, so I was like, I don't know that one.
La Bazooka.
Well, anyways, the Detroit Luxrays, coached by our friend Max, aka Game Reviews. He had a rough season too, but his team is Mimikyu, Blaziken, Salamence, Quagsire, Shuckle, Roserade, Magnezone, Espeon, and Galarian Moltres. And Forsaken Ace's Redwood Meowths are Groudon, Dragonite, Lapras, Amoonguss, Toxtricity, Talonflame, Gardevoir, Stonjourner, and Arctozolt. No Cantonian Meowth like he drafted last year. This is going to be a great matchup again. I like both teams. This is going to be a really tough one. I mean, poor Detroit Luxrays. They're kind of like the Detroit Lions of the EBL. They have some talent here and there. They can't pull off a win. They got swept a couple of times last year. Absolutely brutal, Landon. Absolutely brutal. But I like their team. I mean, it's a good strategy of seeing Pokemon like Salamence and Mimikyu and Quagsire and Shuckle be so dominant on other teams. So why don't you pick them up and see what you can do? So I really like this team. It's really cheesy. Mimikyu, obviously, with the ability to disguise, you can get off a Swords Dance. You can do a lot of things. Shuckle is always annoying. Quagsire, big old derp, is annoying. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at this Redwood Meowth team, and I'm like, all right. You know, we got Groudon, we got Dragonite, and even toward the end of the draft, getting Gardevoir, Stonjourner, and Arctozolt. Very fantastic, or Dracozolt, excuse me. Very good Pokemon here on them. So I'm going to go with the Redwood Meowth. I think it's well balanced. We got some bulk with Dragonite, Lapras. Amoonguss can be really cheesy with Spore, also relatively bulky. Great attackers and fast attackers with Toxtricity and Talonflame. Even Gardevoir now getting that fairy typing here. So I really like this Redwood Meowth team by Forsaken Ace. And once again, I do apologize that La Bazooka is not your channel name. That's your Discord name. Landon, I got to go with the Redwood Meowth here. How about yourself?
All right, so let's be clear here. This is not a repeat of when me and Josh were the hosts, and I just agree with everything that Timmy says. I got my own reasons here. Okay, so listen. So I'm not going to reference to season 2 because we know that Max's season 2 went the way it did, mostly because he was focusing on moving to a new house. He had focuses of other things. He couldn't really focus on the EBL as much as he would have liked to. So I give him a little bit of leverage on the last season because it didn't go the way it could have if he didn't have all that stress. But thinking back to season 1, he's kind of like Foos, where like if something starts to happen that he didn't predict or expect, his mindset starts to drop and he starts panicking a little bit. And as Guanako and I have discussed when he helps me practice on the sidelines, Ace's team is mostly drafted because he likes to troll people. He likes to mess with people's minds as he battles them.
I mean, he did take Cantonian Meowth last year. If that wasn't a troll job, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and that Amoonguss, like, that's definitely there to troll people. I can smell it from a mile away. So, and Stonjourner, Sojourner is a powerhouse, like more than you might expect. Draco Zold is no Draco Vish, but I mean, hey, it puts in the work. So, you know, I'm really excited to see how this match goes, and as I said a lot when I was the co-host in Season 1, Max, if you win, congratulations. I'm happy for you, but I'm going to have to give this one to Ace just because of how Max has battled in the past and how I've been told Ace battles.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I hope Max does well. I hope he gets a couple of wins this season, and you nailed that with Foos as well, is that they kind of have a plan, and if that plan doesn't go right, then they don't have a plan B or even a plan C if they get that far. But that wraps up the Mega Division here. And since we are kind of right in the middle of the episode, friendly reminder again for everybody to like this video, subscribe to not only this EBL channel, but also subscribe to all the other coaches and, you know, the Roundup post. I'm just saying you can subscribe to me as well, because we all do a bunch of great Pokemon content, videos, live streams. Some of us go outside of Pokemon and stream some other things or make some videos on some other stuff as well. So overall, if you like Pokemon and other gaming, make sure you check out all of our coaches and show them the love. All right, Landon, are you ready for your division, the Dynamax division?
I'm more than ready.
All right, we got one of the more interesting matchups here to start off. We got the Atlanta Braviary, the Commissioner's team, Stone Family 64, Matty Ice, going up against a newcomer, the TJ Gengars, coached by our good friend Latin Luigi here. I mean, Matty Ice, the Atlanta Braviary are no joke. They went to the finals in Season 1. They had a pretty good team and a pretty good run in Season 2. A couple of mistakes prevented them from making the championship again. And then Luigi, he's a good VGC guy. He knows competitive Pokemon. He comes with a good team. So let's just recap those teams really, really quickly. For the Atlanta Braviary, we got the heavy hitter, Kartana, #1 pick by them, of course. Dragapult, great Pokemon. Togekiss, Weavile, Alakazam, Arcanine, Glalie, Klefki. We got some keys in the EBL Season 3. And the pick of the draft. Pick of the draft with the final pick. He gets Starmie, the best Pokemon in the league. So that is awesome that Matty Ice drafted Starmie. Don't know why it took him until the last round. That should be everybody's #1 overall pick. But anyways, besides that, Landon, TJ Gengars, coached by Latin Luigi. We got Gengar, Swampert, Lucario, Volcarona, Vulture Bird. What's the name? I can't think of the name right now. Indeedee, Xerneas, Como-O, Rotom, Mo, and Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz, that is the bird. Oh my God, I was looking at him like, that's like Mandibuzz, and I was like, I don't know the name of this. Whoopsies. But anyways, both heavy hitter teams both know what they're doing. These are experienced battlers right here, and experienced battlers. But despite having a Starmie on this, I gotta go with the TJ Gengar here. Latin Luigi, we all know him. He's kind of a troll in himself, but he's also very good at battling, so he's gonna know exactly what to do. He's gonna off Matty Ice a little bit. I think he's gonna get in the head. I said that last year in Season 2. Kind of worked out a little bit for a couple of battles. I like the TJ Gengar to kind of make a statement here in Week 1. He's going to use the right moves. He's going to do the right setup moves. He's going to switch when necessary. I feel like he's going to make all the right moves. And eventually, Matty Ice and the Atlanta Braviary are just going to kind of attack. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the TJ Gengar here. Landon, how about yourself, my friend? How about yourself?
The trend continues. I got to say, knowing Matt well because of, you know, the EBL itself and how he battles, I know that if he gets something that he really enjoys using, or if something goes well for him, he's going to put a lot of focus into that one mon. Right. And we know that since Kartana is on the logo for a reason, he's going to want to put work in that Kartana, make it the main focus, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts with it, because as soon as he gets that kill, Beast Boost is gonna you know, just blow everything out of the water. Right. But knowing Luigi, he did say that he was going to be using his own methods to change his EVs and stuff on everything every week, which I can definitely see him putting a lot of speed on his mon to outspeed the Kartana, depending on what is allowed, what is legal. Of course, Luigi does everything that's legal, so don't worry about that. He doesn't break the rules. But if it... Again, I'm trying not to focus on one mon at a time, because of course there's so many mons that could like lead to, you know, winning or losing. But if I'm looking at Luigi's team alone, I see a lot of speed. I also see things that are super effective against Kartana. We see Volcarona, who's quad super effective. I can see him making that outspeed it. I don't see Komo-O outspeeding it, but I can definitely see it surviving a hit from Kartana. Lucario, also an option. Lucario is very strong and can definitely be super fast. In terms of the rest of the team, I mean, I don't see Luigi starting with the rest because I feel like he knows that Matt will start with Kartana too. I mean, I feel like it's just a given. So I'm going to have to throw this one to Luigi as well, just because of how his team is versus Matt's team. I will mention the rest of Matt's team, though, because he did do very good in this draft. We see Weavile, who, of course, was on the Season 2 logo because of Guanako. And as much as I don't want to give Timmy, what's the word? I don't want to give him an ego. Yeah, I don't want to boost his ego. We're talking about the Starmie, but the Starmie is a good pick. But I mean, if he does bring the Starmie, I mean, it'll probably put in the work. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. Of course,
like
but
as long as the Starmie takes down the Gengar, I'll be happy. If Luigi brings out a Gengar and Matty Ice uses Starmie to take it out, that would be pretty cool for me.
I don't know. I feel like with the way the Luigi is, I love the dude. I feel like just to, like, you know, show people like how good Gengar can be, I feel like he'll want to like finish up the match no matter what with Gengar. So I can see a Gengar being like the last one brought out. So if Starmie beats Gengar, then Matt wins. That's what I gotta say.
Ooh, okay, but yeah.
But I'm giving it to Luigi.
Yeah, and you mentioned the EVs and all that stuff. I mean, Luigi shared a picture in the group a couple of weeks ago where he was like, I got half my team done, and he had like 8 different Gengars, he had like 6 different Lucarios, so he's ready to come with different Pokemon each and every week, despite it being the same, and that's kind of the beauty of Pokemon. So I think this is the match that I'm most looking forward to, since we got a lot of newcomers as well, but I think these are going to be 2 heavy hitters here in the Dynamax division. But now we move on to the next matchup. Let me pull up that beautiful schedule again. Next up, we got the Kentucky. I cannot speak today. Kentucky. We got the, I mean, I kept calling Cleveland, like Cleveland, in my Legends Arceus streams. Make sure you guys check it out. But we got the Kentucky Kinglers, the defending Dynamax Division champion, coached by our friend Derek, aka Always More Videos, going up against our first, overseas competitor in the Essex Espeons by PokePage. Welcome into the league. Now we got time zones all over the world in like 2 different countries. But anyways, this is going to be an exciting matchup just because I really don't know how Pitch battles. We know how Derek battles. We know his team. Just to kind of briefly recap those teams, Landon. Kentucky Kinglers, we got Cinderace, obviously the MVP of Season 2, dominant Pokemon, really, really awesome. But then Derek was like, you know what, I got Cinderace, and then I'm just going to draft Water-type Pokemons and run a Drizzle team with Pelipper, Palitoad, Barraskewda, Kingdra, Omastar, Ludicolo, Palkia, and then Keldeo. So 2 great value picks at the end of the draft with Palkia and Keldeo. And our Essex Espeons has Dialga, which Derek knows very well, Rillaboom, Toxapex, Snorlax, Mew, Orbeetle, Ninetales, Comfey, and Landon. You know it, Alolan Raichu. So definitely have some Pokemon that can handle Derek's Rain team. But then again, it's like, what is Derek going to do with Cinderace, knowing that it's Fire type, even with Libero, it can change types? I don't think Cinderace can learn any Water type moves, so it's kind of like, what's he going to do with that? Or is he just using Cinderace as a bluff and using all the Water Pokemon? We really don't know. So this is going to be interesting. I think I'm just leaning toward the Kinglers in this one because I know how Derek battles, and it's kind of like that Guanako, the Miami Dragonites versus the Axews. It's just that I know how Guanako battles. I don't know how Iso battles. It's week 1. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think I'm going to go with the Kentucky Kinglers here, but I can definitely see the Essex Espeons walking away with this. I mean, we know the power of Dialga. We know the power of Rillaboom. Toxapex, as we all know, can annoy the crap out of you. Just setting up Baneful Bunker, Poisoning, Toxic Spikes, and all that stuff. Snorlax, I mean, it's chunk, baby. He can take a hits. He can deliver some hits. Also has some pretty decent speed with Orbeetle, Alolan Raichu, and Ninetales. So this is a great team, a well-balanced team, but as I said, I really don't know how Pitch battles, so I'm just going to stick with my gut here and go with the Kinglers. Landon, how about yourself, buddy?
The trend breaks here because Derek is a very good battler and he has learned a lot since joining the EBL. But I think that just because he went super far last season with the Cinderace and he wanted to take a different path with this Drizzle team, I think he might have bit off more than he can chew. He says himself that he doesn't know if he can utilize this team as well. I definitely see his Season 2 team being better used than his Season 3 team. While a Drizzle team definitely cannot be underestimated. Obviously, we saw what the Chicago Score Bunnies did in Season 1.
Right.
Looking at Pidge's team, the first thing that I think about when he's fighting Derek is that Rillaboom. I don't see Derek bringing the Cinderace. He said he's not going to bring it for a while.
Right.
Rillaboom can take hits and it can dish them out. So, I mean, I'm kind of busy making a video here, Mom.
Hi, Mrs. Landon.
Checking out your hair.
You can touch my hair later. Anyways, Rillaboom can dish out hits and take them. We know that, of course, because Guanako used it last season.
Right.
Milo and Raichu, I miss it so much. Raichu is good for a Drizzle team as well. Definitely can dish some hits to water types, that's for sure. I mean, if he brings it, Comfey's moveset, it can learn a lot of grass and fairy type moves. Of course, there's the water types on his team, but there's also a couple water dragon types, water fighting type, and Keldeo. So, and from what I've heard, I've never seen Comfey in competitive, but Comfey can put in a lot more than you might think. No way does he bring the Ninetales. I don't see him bringing Ladian.
Yeah.
Snorlax and Dialga can definitely come. I'm not really predicting anybody's teams that they're bringing, but if I had to predict the team that Pidge is going to bring, I see Dialga, Rillaboom, Toxapex, Snorlax, Mew, and not Mew. Definitely not Mew. I meant to say the first four on the list that I mentioned before, Comfey and Alolan Raichu, just because of how much work they can put in. Right. Again, you mentioned Toxapex with the setting of the Toxic Spikes, Snorlax taking hits and dishing them out just like Rillaboom, and Dialga being quad resistant for water, like a quad resist water, and it's just an absolute powerhouse. So I'm gonna have to give this one to Pidge. I mean, offline Nuzlocke, the VGC champion who has been helping all of the coaches with their teams before the season has even started and stuff like that, helped me draft my entire team. He says that Pidge's is the scariest and probably will be the championship team this season.
Ooh.
So I'm going to have to go with Pidge. Sorry, Derek. I'm not going to be biased just like Josh was.
Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to go with Derek. And that's actually going to wrap up this episode. That's all the EBL matches. There are no more in week one. The Texas Tyranitar have a bye because of I'm sorry. I must have misread there, buddy. We do have one more match, and it's your team. We have the Iowa Incineroar. We have your team going up against newcomer, the Doorman, a.k.a. Allen, a.k.a. the Doorman, and the Texas Tyranitar. Great name for an EBL team going up against the Iowa Incineroar. Another great team. Just to quickly recap those teams, of course, you have all shiny Pokemon, and you have...
Nice Jerry girl.
Good night, Landon. Good night, Landon's brother or mom or whoever that was.
That's my stepdad.
Stepdad. Good night, Papa Step Inferno. But you have shiny Tapu Koko, you got Celesteela, you got Incineroar. I was about to say Infernomen right there. You got Johto and Slowking. You got Tangrowth for our friend Hazeby Thickness. You got Vanillux, Hitmontop, Noivern, and Tyrantrum, which I won a shiny competition way back when, and you traded me one. Texas Tyranitars also have a good team. They have Tyranitar, they have Taka, they got Sandaconda, they got Reinculus, they got Seismitoad, they got Dracfish, they got Escavalier, they got Heliolus, and they have another Lycanroc. So this is a good team. They definitely have some bulk. They can attack with Tyranitar, Seismitoad, Heliolus. They got some powerful Lycanrocs as well, but this team is very, very bulky. Stakataka, Seismitoad, Escavalier. This team will be able to take a couple of hits, but Landon, buddy, this is your team, your matchup, so I'll let you talk on your team, kind of your thought process on how you went into this, and, also, trying to be fair and complimenting the Doorman's team as well.
Okay, so, Obviously, even Alan has said this himself, and nobody ever should be underestimating the EBL. That is 100% factual. I have not underestimated Alan. I prepare as much as I can for our match together, but he himself has said that he's afraid of my team. I do agree that I have some powerhouses that can actually combat his team, but I mean, I won't just like automatically give myself the win for that. I am saying that I'm gonna win. Don't get me wrong. I am saying that I'm gonna win. But the only thing that scares me about Alan's team, and the only thing that could be the reason why I lose, is his Rio Nicholas, which I'm thinking that he's going to be bringing. That Rio Nicholas is scary as heck.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that I can't see myself taking out very quickly. It's got Trick Room, which would make my Pokemon that are faster than his slower. Of course, Max Mindstorm will create Psychic Terrain. I got a lot of priority moves on my Mons, so I gotta like change up my movesets for that. Try to not use them while that's going up. There's just a lot that can go on in this match with his team, with the Sand Rush and stuff like that. The smartest play when you have a Sand Rush team, the only reason why he would have Dracovish on a Sand Rush team is because if he has the hidden ability, Sand Rush. Sorry, I meant to say like Sandstream team. Sand Rush is what he's gonna have on the Dracovish, is what I'm assuming, considering he has it on the Sand team. I mean, we saw it with Josh last season. So, Dracovish, definitely second scariest mon on this team, but with Vanillix having Freeze Dry, Quad super effective, I think I got this in the bag. It'll be a very close match. I can smell that from miles away. But that being said, I feel like that I have this in the bag. I really do. But Alan's got a really good team. And if he doesn't win this, Alan, I just gotta say this to you. You've got a good team. You've got a good future ahead of you for the rest of this season, and you're gonna do well this season. That's to everybody that I said that's gonna lose in these matches. That goes for everybody that said I'm gonna win. All of you guys gonna have a great season no matter if you win or lose this match. Don't take your first match loss as definitive proof that you're gonna have a bad season, because it's not true. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, and it's week 1 here, so that's the key. If you win, you lose, and we don't know. Maybe Derek just magically isn't good this season. Maybe Guanako and the Dragonites just magically aren't good, or maybe somebody like Matty Ice or Tara just magically gets super good. You know what I mean? And so definitely, if you win or lose in week 1, definitely don't feel discouraged or super encouraged unless you do like a little bit of confidence. The Texas Tyranitar, this is going to be a very close match, I think. I, like you mentioned, basically took that out of my mouth. Very bulky. He'll be able to take some hits. I just don't know if he'll be able to deliver hits. But I think this will come down to the end, the final couple of Pokemon. I definitely don't expect any 5-1s or 4-1s or anything like that in this league, or 6-2. I think a lot of close matches are coming this week. But I gotta go with you. I gotta go with my co-host in week 1 to make sure that we're on the same page, everybody. We're on the right page. So I'm gonna go with the Iowa Incineroar. So we're only opposite on the Kentucky Kinglers versus the Essex Espeons, which was not planned. But hey, it's week 1. We do what we do. But you know what? That's gonna wrap up week 1 of the preview of the roundup. We will be recapping all of the matches and then making our picks for week 2 next week. Landon, any final words on your end?
If you guys aren't watching this week's matches, you're making a mistake. I'm telling you this right now. Every day this week in my streams, I plug the EBL channel before I end off my streams, because this league is important. If you're not watching every match, you're missing out on some important details. So it doesn't matter if you like the Kentucky Kinglers or if you like the Atlanta Braviary, and you have merch for both of them, but don't buy the Iowa Incineroar merch and didn't watch any of the Iowa Incineroar matches season 2, Raphael, make sure to watch every match, okay? Watch every match. I don't care if you don't know who Isomorphic is. I don't care if you don't know who Tara of the Stone family is. I don't care if you don't know who Latin Luigi is, which you should know who Latin Luigi is. Watch every match. EBL is great. It's going to be a good season. Enjoy.
It's going to be a fantastic season, and we can't wait to see you guys here in future roundups and future videos and everything like that. And once again, folks, since this is the end of the video, hit that thumbs up button to like, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to everybody. I am ItsReallyTimmyB, joined by my co-host Infernomen, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out, fam.